A King 5 meteorologist couldn't quite figure out why more people are dying from hypothermia in Washington. It's a big mystery, but Detective Rantz is going to solve it. Welcome to the Jason Rantz Show, presented by None Better Tax Resolution. King 5's Leah Pizzetti reports that researchers are in the process of trying to figure out why there's been a recent surge in hypothermia deaths. Except we already know the why. There's been a surge in homelessness. Yet, despite claiming researchers don't know the reason, reporter Leah Pizzetti still implies climate change is to blame, though she hides the claim behind the term extreme weather events. She spoke with Reed Wolcott of the National Weather Service, Seattle.
History, the 3 deadliest months in King County when it comes to hypothermia correlate exactly with extreme weather events.
So when we're seeing these weather events that are more extreme, we see the direct result in fatalities.
Yes, absolutely.
A massive snowstorm in February of 2019 killed 11 people. The December 2022 ice storm left 12 people dead. And the January 2024 cold snap killed 12. Reed says the cause is not just cold, but the addition of winter weather.
I haven't seen a real clear signal of increasing cold weather events, but there have been numerous winter weather events over the course of this time frame.
Now, first she implies it's the extreme weather events. Then her expert says it's not getting colder. And then she reports that they pulled temperature data through the last 20 years to see how cold it was each night someone died because of hypothermia in King County. And of the 217 people, the temperature threshold on the night they died ranged from the teens into the mid-50s. Now, last time I checked, 55 degrees is not an extreme weather event. It's not leading to ice or snow. So in other words, neither low temperatures nor extreme weather events are to blame for the rise of hypothermia deaths. Now, having wasted over 3 minutes talking about those extreme weather events, Pizzetti finally raises the prospect that the number of homeless people living outside might just explain the rise in hypothermia deaths. However, she doesn't appear to be quite convinced yet.
A greater population of those experiencing homelessness or those with underlying medical conditions.
In King County's data that details hypothermia deaths in the last 20 years, there are many people who were unhoused, but there were also people who did have homes.
So let me get this straight. She notes people who have homes also died of hypothermia, so that must mean it's not just a homelessness issue. Okay, let's listen to one of her examples.
An 89-year-old woman named Velma, who was found on the concrete outside her house by a neighbor in 2023.
So the example to prove it's not really a homeless issue when discussing hypothermia deaths is an elderly woman who was found dead outside. Okay. But you see, she owned a home, so we can't note that it's just homelessness driving the surge. Now, other than filling 5 minutes and 22 seconds on a newscast and giving me content to criticize, it's not entirely clear what this King 5 feature accomplished. I don't even know what the point of it was. And she implies that the National Weather Service of Seattle is doing the research to explain why there's an increase in hypothermia deaths. I reached out to the expert who said his research, quote, is not explicitly tied to hypothermia deaths. The reporter didn't get back to me by the time we recorded this video. Now, I know this is King 5 and all, and they've got to make everything into some woke story where we can't state the obvious unless it has some sort of progressive social justice agenda attached to it. But I doubt there's researchers out there who are puzzled as to why there's an increase in hypothermia deaths in the state of Washington, especially in King County. Because you know what else has gone up with the deaths? Homelessness. And while King 5 amplifies the activist voices fighting to keep the homeless outside, us normal people know that when people live outdoors and it's freezing, there's a higher risk of death. Homelessness is behind the surge of hypothermia deaths, and that's precisely why the smart ones fight to bring them indoors. Other than that, the King 5 report was a brilliant and inspired piece of journalism where I learned a whole bunch, and no doubt it's going to be up for a bunch of awards. I sat down with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. Tell me a little bit about the Fresh Start program, because again, based on how it's promoted, it seems really, really simple.
This Fresh Start program and that phrase has been around for many, many, many years now. But it's a great marketing tool to say, hey, fresh start. And in a way, for those that qualify, it is. What it essentially is an offer in compromise. And to get that, there's 2 main criteria a person must qualify for. 1, they must have limited or no equity in assets. So generally, anyone in the Puget Sound region that owns a home and has for several years, they're going to have a lot of equity. They won't qualify. And the other is an income level. And that all depends upon your family size about how much income that could be. But both of those standards need to be met to qualify. Most people do not.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn of Nunn Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN, Nunn Better Tax Resolution. Did you like that commentary? Make sure you subscribe to the podcast of The Jason Rantz Show. Get it at KTTH.com or wherever it is you download your podcasts.